What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today we have got Sam, a wonderful special guest that you'll all probably know from the Villa Park podcast. Hopefully, he's a bit happier than he usually is right now. Because
I'm always happy.
No, you're not. You're not always happy, mate.
So
You're not
early.
always happy. Just to be clear, because Aston Villa have once again secured Champions League football with a...
In the bag. Never in doubt, mate.
Mate, what an emphatic win that was, if I'm honest. That the first half was a little bit ropey at times. First 15 minutes, I think, was really good, but then kind of tailed off. But that second half performance was absolutely brilliant. Did you both go to the game?
I went.
I'm saving all my money for Istanbul, mate. I couldn't make that.
I'm not mentioning that yet because someone's already said I'm going to mention it, and I'm not saying anything yet.
I'll mention it for you, Gary. Don't worry about me. I'm here.
Yeah. Mate, I went to the game, and do you know what? I just didn't expect it. Where's that been? Like, I just in future, if Unai Emery could just give me the memo as to what the actual plan is, right, rather than make me sit through that Spurs game and watch us, chuck away a lead at Burnley. To that second half performance, how we reacted after they equalised was phenomenal. It was brilliant. And I guess I've got to eat some humble pie again, haven't I? About Ollie Watkins. Fucking hell. Like he's but
Probably, we've got his two biggest fans here, right?
Well, yeah.
It's an interesting thing to talk about.
I'll stand by that. He still should have been better this season, but he's an informed player at the moment, and thank fuck he is. Since he's been dropped, right, by Tommy Tuchel, that's fucking 9 goals he scored. Scored 9 goals since March.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's just looking. I said, because I was on a Villa Park podcast, the live watch along yesterday, and I was just saying, he looks like a proper centre forward again. He's like holding up the ball really well. He's taking players on. He's making good decisions in one-on-one situations as well. He just looks strong. He looks agile. He just looks so. I mean, I'm not going to forgive him that offside. Just stay in your own half, mate. I don't understand how.
All the 2 chances he missed in the first half. Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, fair. But mate, he just looks like a man possessed, and he just looks like he's desperate to get on that plane. And I think he will be. Sam, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he did all right.
Brilliant to have you on, mate. Brilliant to have you on.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great insight, mate.
Yeah. Do you know? I just did a video on Ollie Watkins like 15 minutes ago, and I have receipts. I have stats for all of the people that say, people who say, where are you, Ollie Watkins doubters now? All right, let's do this. So,
strap in, people.
Strap in, my good friend. So, Ollie Watkins this season, 1 goal in 13 games. In the first 13 games, 3 goals in 17 games. And by the 30th game of this Premier League season, he had scored 8 goals and had 1 assist. Now, since then, since that 30th game, he has been unreal.
Yeah.
And I mean that in every sense of the word. As Gary said, he's got 9 goals. I think he's got 6 in the Premier League. He's got 3 in the Europa League. But what's more impressive than the goals is the performance. And this is what I said. And this kind of comes to what you said, James. It's not just about the goals. The way that he's playing, the way he played against Liverpool. I'm well known for not being Ollie Watkins' biggest fan, and I stand by what I said in the past. But that doesn't mean that what he's doing now is not incredible. It was the most complete centre forward performance I've ever seen from an Aston Villa player, and he did the exact same thing against Nottingham Forest as well. His hold-up play was incredible. He took opportunities, and Gary, look, I know he missed a couple of opportunities, and he would have been disappointed to not be onside for when John McGinn slid that ball through. All he had to do was be in his own half. But I would actually say if he was in his own half, then he would have never made that pass, and the keeper would have just collected it. So, yeah, he missed opportunities, and I've said this about Ollie Watkins before. He's not technically the most gifted player in the world. He is the epitome of hard work and not as much talent, right? He shows what you can do if you work really hard. That being said, he's putting absolutely everything into performances at the moment. And if we have any chance of winning on Wednesday, we need Ollie Watkins in this form. And the culmination of this season, the fact that we have got into the Champions League, the fact that we are in the final of the Europa League, a lot of that comes down to Ollie Watkins' performance over the last 10 games. So if you were ready to give him criticism at the start of the season when he was playing shit, and he was playing shit, you have to be prepared to give him credit now because he's been playing incredible football, and fair play to him.
Yeah, he's been unreal. Yeah, well done, Sam. Thank you for that. Well done. You can go now, mate.
I'll see you later.
That inspired me, mate. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Ollie Watkins, the one fan here.
Talk about inspiring. Like Gary, did you stay right to the end? I'm guessing you stayed for Unai's speech.
I did, mate. I did. Do you know what? I generally walked out of the stadium.
Istanbul!
Mate, I came out of the stadium going, we're bringing that fucking trophy home.
Did you go out of that stadium thinking you were actually in Istanbul? Because he kept saying, we are in Istanbul. I was like, I thought we were Birmingham.
No, he said Istanbul, right? I think he said Istanbul.
Yeah, Istanbul. No, you're right, guys. Because I was on the when we were doing the watch along, and then obviously I left at the end of that, so I didn't actually see the very end. But watched it today, and yeah, I literally came out of it, and I texted my father-in-law going, "We're gonna win the fucking thing, mate. We're gonna win this. This guy. Can you imagine being in that dressing room? That guy giving you the speech. This guy's won it 5 times. Like 4. Sorry, it's gonna be 5.
No, he's right. It is 5. It just hasn't happened yet.
This guy, you're going to be sitting there hanging off every single word that he's going to be saying, right? He's led you to Champions League qualification via the league this season when I don't think anyone really saw that coming. And then he's led you to the final of the Europa League, and you're 90 minutes away from doing something absolutely incredible for this club this season.
100%. I think it just shows how important that result yesterday was. Do you know what I mean? To go into Wednesday, because now there's nothing. Surely in that dressing room, there's nothing but belief, right? Every player can give 110% next Wednesday without the worry of getting injured or worried that we need to travel to Man City and get something. It is just going and absolutely all guns are blazing. So I fully expect us to get it over the line. I mean, I don't want to jinx it because at the same time, Freiburg are like us going into the 1982 Cup final, right? They're the underdogs. We're the better team on paper. But if they turn up and fight for their lives, which I expect them to do, it'll be a tough game. But I think if we play like we've done against Liverpool and Forest, we piss this. We win it easily.
Did you see their result? Did you see their result yesterday?
No. What was it?
They battered Leipzig 4-1. They are on par with Leipzig, who are 3rd in the league. They're not in form actually. They're very similar to Villa, where they've been out of form recently. But they just had before the final, they just had a statement performance. They absolutely battered them 4-1.
Oh wow! Oh good.
It's gonna be brilliant. I'm very excited. Obviously, I can't go. There's a lot of people saying in the chat, as Gary mentioned, that he's
Gary, are you going, mate?
Yeah. Well, so it's funny you should mention this, right? So there's been no content from me today because I have been fucking super busy, man. I've had to take my daughter to football. Then I've had to start packing for my holiday in Devon because, ladies and gents, if you haven't heard, I'm flying out to Istanbul. So there's a lot of stuff to sort out before we can do that. I can't wait. I can't think of anything else. I've been packing for Woolacombe today going, I'm not going till Thursday. Why am I doing this now? It's Saturday.
Mate, don't go on Thursday.
You're not Thursday. You mad? You missed the game.
No. He's going to turn up in Istanbul with his Villa shirt on. Everyone's going to fucked off home.
No, I'm going to Devon on Thursday. Not packing.
No. Oh, okay.
Wait, you're going to Pakistan as well? God, you're busy in the What's going on?
Right, around the world in 80 days. I'm going to be cultured by the end of this.
Do you know where the game is? Are you just going to visit everywhere until you stumble upon it?
Gary's just on tour. Gary's up on tour with his little orange thing.
I'm leaving tomorrow, and eventually we'll get there.
No, it's going to be an incredible occasion. Like I said, unfortunately, I'm just going to be watching it in here on my own. I'll order a pizza or something like that. That's
you on holiday in Scunthorpe, no, James?
No, I'm not on holiday anywhere, mate. No, there's unfortunately just the way it's fell. I have to be at home. Unfortunately.
Oh, I can't believe you're missing this game, dude. I'm just
don't honestly. I can't. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything about it.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I can't do anything about it.
There is still 5 days left for you to do something about it, James. I'm just saying.
I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything.
Come on, James, you can do it.
No,
I'm just saying, James, if the content that's produced from this blows us up, right, I'm taking Sam with me. He's coming all the way. If the brand deals start rolling in, it'll have to be Sam because you weren't there to experience it. How can I sit with you and Coca-Cola and Doritos coming up wanting us to do stuff and I go, well, he weren't there, or he won't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Are you doing something for Just Eat? Are you doing something for Just Eat?
I got asked, but it's being filmed on Tuesday. I'm not going out till Wednesday, so
I can replace James. Here, watch this. Hello and welcome to Every Week We Follow. Go on, Gary here.
See, we're winning.
And to be fair, James, with the tan that you've got on, it's hard to distinguish between us, if I'm being honest. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what sunbed you're in. I don't know what's going on.
Just need some specs, mate. Just get some specs on.
I had a shave today.
So go ahead. See. How are we doing?
Yes, it's the same. You're like me in 10 years.
Oh, fucking hell. Right.
So anyway. In the comments, like, are you ever talking about Villa, or are we just going to be slacking off?
Yeah, I was about to say, well, it does definitely just kind of descend.
So, Brett.
Yeah, right. Oh. Anyway, back to it. So, I think one of the key things for me actually in the second half was Ross Barkley. I thought he was absolutely brilliant, mate. Like, Gary, what do you think to that?
Yeah, mate, I completely agree. I think I was surprised he didn't start. To be fair, knowing that he's not going to play any part in the final next week, and I mean, it was understandable because I thought Buendia was outstanding yesterday as well. But when Barkley came on, he's just so composed on the ball, isn't he? Like, technically, he's a wonderful footballer. Like, in tight spaces with the ball, just gliding past places, not like strong as well, but. I mean, I've got to say, as good as we were yesterday, Liverpool, my word, mate, I think that's the worst Liverpool side I've seen come to Villa Park in about 10 years. The drop-off is massive. But how disjointed they were, particularly in defence and midfield, mate. Like, it was non-existent. We scored 4, we could have scored 9. Like, it was ridiculous how easy it was to get through the lines and go route one. Like, I lost count of times that, like, we were 1-on-1 from just a boot out of Emi Martin's hands. It's strange, man, because Liverpool have never been like that. And a classic example of that second half. Van Dijk at one point was in centre midfield, and it was Canate on his own with Kirkes and I don't know who was on the fucking right. I don't know, but they were just all over the place. I don't care. I don't know Liverpool very enough. They're fucking shit, mate. And now Alonso's agreed to go to Chelsea. Let's hope Slot continues and they get relegated next year. No, I don't mean that. No, I do mean that. Do I mean that? I don't know. I'm not a fan of Liverpool anyway. And it was just a massive, massive result. And Ross Barkley, when he came on, mate, I thought was I guess part of just the genius of Unai Emery. Even to make those changes when they do to kind of get them on the ropes. Because at 1-1, that was the response, right? I think it was kind of, can we go on and push on? And we literally scored straight away. Granted, it came from a mistake, right? From Szoboszlai falling over, Stevie Gerrard's best mate. But, yeah, I think every player's got to play a part. It was nice for Barkley to play a part in that because, like I say, he's not going to take part on Wednesday, which is a damn shame. I think that is probably Unai Emery's biggest mistake this season, if I'm honest.
Not Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, potentially. I just want to go rewind a little bit though. Actually, that is for me, and this is to you, Sam. What do you think? But that is for me the reason that you play Morgan Rogers, right? Like it doesn't happen enough more recently, but he's done it he has done it for decent stints this season. But that finish was just absolutely sublime.
Well. Mate, Austin McPhee take a bow, right?
Because,
and Rodgers ran straight over to him, but they picked it apart on Sky Sports after the game, and just the movement from Tielemans starts it by orchestrating it, but Rodgers' movement, and then
Luca Dean did really well.
McGinn and Luca Dean, but it's really clever actually how he pulls Kirkes and Ingamoa out to that to leave the space for Rodgers, and the finish was sublime.
Yeah. I mean, Sam, what do you think about Rodgers in the summer? Obviously, there's still all the kind of like rumours around that. And I think a lot of us have actually said, meh, anywhere near, I think you said 60 mil last time we spoke, anywhere towards 80 million, take the money and run.
Yeah, I think 60 was like after you pay off Barrow, right? It was not accept 60, but you got 20% on top of that. Yeah, I mean, we all know what he's capable of. We all know what Morgan Rogers is capable of. Like he has world-class performances in him. They're just too few and far between. And I don't know if it's his fault. A lot of the times when he's not playing well, people like cite apathy or that his head's been turned or this and that. I never really buy that. I think he plays too much football. I think he's never dropped. He plays absolutely every minute for Aston Villa. He barely gets substituted. Me personally, it depends, right, on what we have available to us this summer. Now, if we win the Europa League, we know that we have Champions League confirmed. Revenue numbers next season will be promising, and we'll hopefully be in a better position to go and sign some players. And but if that is not the case, because obviously we know next season's revenue is going to be decent, come what may. But this season, obviously, we weren't in the Champions League; we're in the Europa League, so I don't know. What we're going to have available to us in the summer. If we don't have a lot of money to go and spend, because we do, as amazing as it is what this squad has done, it's made more amazing by the players in the squad. Like we're still dining out on Dean Smith signings and Steven Gerrard signings, and we have we had earlier this season 3 players in McGinn, Tielemans, and Boubacar Kamara get injured, and our whole season capitulated. You cannot have that kind of dependency in a team that wants to consistently challenge for the Champions League and a team that consistently wants to challenge for trophies, because eventually you will get found out. And actually in that second half of that Champions League season, what really got us out of a hole and helped us push on and helped us win against PSG and everything else good that happened that season was the depth that we had. Like we saw how Unai Emery can utilize squad depth with a squad that he trusts. So for me, you have to go out and build. So I mean, I don't think now's the time to be saying, coming out on a pod and saying, oh yeah, we need to sell Morgan Rogers, whatever. We've got 2 games left, right? And we're going to need him on top form to be. Can I ask, is it Freiburg or Freiburg?
Freiburg.
Okay, fine. So if we're going to beat Freiburg, then we need to focus. And I think come summer, let him go to the World Cup. If he has a great World Cup, he'll be worth even more. And if we need to, then I'm happy to sell him. After Jack Grealish, I learned that there's not one player that defines Aston Villa. Like no matter who comes, who goes, we'll be fine as long as we get the right money for him.
Well, I'm not being funny. I called him lazy on Sky Sports yesterday. So, yeah. And then he went and put that in the top bins. But look, I stand by that, to be fair, because he's a player that can have magical moments, that can turn games quite as easy as that. But I still think he needs to work harder. I do. I think there's times when he feels like he's not doing the groundwork to enable him to do those kind of things, right? So
I think like
just
what
my
Sam
opinion
said though as well, that he can't. I think I've said before, like the way he plays, the way he can play is so much strength and power, and he's just driving. He can't do that 90 minutes every single match of the entire. He's played over 100 games in the past calendar year. He can't do that and stay fit.
I mean, we could like Emery could just rest him occasionally.
That's what I mean.
He doesn't have to play every game, right? But what I'm saying, because he's resting himself in certain games where he's.
I feel like he probably has to.
Yeah, but it's counterproductive for me, because he's he could arguably our best player, and if you look at across Europe, in likes of PSG and Bayern and mostly European teams, because they have their winter break and stuff, these players that are playing in the Champions League final, for PSG, they've only played 30 games this season. Do you know what I mean? Because they're rested throughout the season to keep them fresh for the important games. And I guess they've got more squad depth, right? More money. But with all the midfield that we've had and all the players that we've had to try and integrate, we could have afforded to rest Rodgers in certain games. We've got other options that can play in his position, but he's played regardless. And I just, that's obviously has a counterintuitive effect on his performances. I get that, but it affects when we need him most. And he popped up yesterday, but he has gone missing in some of the bigger games. And you go, mate, we need him to do something magical here, and we'll need him Wednesday to do something magical, hopefully. But I think it's out the window now. I think with yesterday's performance, we just need to turn up, and I think every one of those players in that dressing room are going to be as motivated as they can be, right?
I think like the good test of it is right when you think about Morgan Rogers. He scored 3 goals in his last 20. Yeah. Right, I think he hit 10 for the season yesterday.
Yeah,
and he was on 7 in October. So if you for me, I always say if you ask Morgan Rogers, would he be happy with what he's produced this season? I reckon he'd probably say no. And I don't see him as lazy, although I can see why people do call him lazy because the way he plays is very nonchalant. Like so many times he loses the ball because he's played a pass too softly, he's done a flick, or he's kind of run into nowhere. Like sometimes it feels like he doesn't really think about what he's doing. I don't think it's a lack of effort. I think it's just, sometimes I think it's poor decision making and maybe not enough urgency, or maybe a little bit of arrogance because he's very popular. But for me, like even last season, and when we were playing in the Champions League, like that hat trick against Celtic, and what he's done since he's come here from a championship team to becoming one of the most coveted young players in the world, in 1.5 years, 2 years of Premier League football, for me is incredible, right? Like I think you have to give him credit, but I wouldn't get him rid of Morgan Rogers for any other reason than if it was going to facilitate rebuilding the squad. Then I'd do it, right? Because I feel like that's the most important for us right now is to be future proof, and I don't think Aston Villa right now is future proof. But that being said, that's why I said like I just feel like this is the wrong time to have that conversation. I just feel like we need to be bigging everyone up before Wednesday and just getting everyone pumped. But he played really well yesterday. Everyone played well. It's like Forest where no one had a bad performance.
No,
I thought Wendy was really good. I thought, he was so unlucky with that effort. Oh God!
Hit the crossbar and the post at the same time as well.
Incredible. But I tell you what, I was watching the highlights back today, and I completely forgot at 1-1 because they scored that goal, and then they very quickly hit the post, didn't they? And then banged it over.
Yeah,
that would have been a very different game, wouldn't it? If
goals change games, mate. I mean, obviously we've got lucky with the mistake from Szoboszlai, but I agree with Sam totally. It's the criticisms and micro criticisms. Yesterday, I just didn't expect that performance. I thought we might sneak a win. I didn't expect us to come on. We blew them away, man. Like it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. Atmosphere was great again. Obviously, it wasn't as good as the Forest game because I think everyone, mate. My voice had still gone. When I started singing at the top of my voice yesterday, just nothing came out. I was like, oh my God, it's still broken from last week. But yeah, it was brilliant. And you know what? I think looking at those players, Rogers, McGinn, Watkins, Buendia, in particular yesterday, like the desire that they showed yesterday was just like it warmed my heart. It's massively encouraging going into next Wednesday's game. It was, because that's what I've spoken about this so much on the pod. That's all I ever want to see. Like I want to see that week in, week out, that kind of desire, because it breeds confidence, and confidence makes you play better. And so, I mean, I know it's not that easy, but to see in this time of the season, right, to qualify for the Champions League yesterday, to take the pressure off us to go into this game now, like there's no doubt about it. Like as good as Freiburg have been and beating, Leipzig 4-1 is a great result for them, but. I'd like to think that us at our best can beat anyone in the top 8 of the Bundesliga, and even if they turn up with all guns a-blazing, which I don't think they will, I think they'll sit back and try and frustrate us. I think we play with that level of intensity, we win the game.
Yeah. I mean, us at our best can beat anyone.
Yeah.
I said that performance against Forest. I said it on Sky Sports. I said I think that performance would beat anyone, including PSG.
Yeah,
and we've seen it.
PSG. We beat them on.
Like I think it was Jay Butler where he started laughing. He was like, "Oh, PSG," and I was like, "Dude, we already done it, mate. We've already done it.
We got the T-shirt."
Yeah, literally, I got the T-shirt. Like it's I got Rashford on the back, mate. It was crazy. No, I agree. I just think it was like it's just a complete performance, and you need that level of intensity, and I think. The theme that I've seen with Villa over the last 3 years, like Unai Emery's Villa, is like we're great at getting into these situations, but we never really like snatch opportunities. And I've said this multiple times, like times where doors open for us because of another team's results, or like last season against United, the opportunity to get it back into the Champions League. Which, by the way, if we had have won, then we wouldn't be in a Europa League final right now. So, you know, silver linings potentially, but
That'd be a Champions League final, no?
after this season, I don't know. Well, they're saying that we've won more games in Europe over the last 3-4 years than anyone else except for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
it's mad, that isn't it?
That's absolutely mad. I'm just going to dip quickly into the comments because we are live, so it's good to acknowledge what people are saying. So Nickelodeon, if Rodgers has a good World Cup, his value will go up. That's kind of mirroring what Sam said. Champions League will be a pull for the better players. Sinisiano free, absolute no-brainer. I will say that is kind of a bit of a key thing. It's not just about the money and being able to buy the players. It's simply even being able to get players that aren't even commanding that massive fee, but they actually want to come. Some people talking about Bowen potentially on that. Gary, do you need to pack? All you need is sun lotion, a hat, and Turkish lira.
I got a Revolut card, mate. I'm good. I'm all good.
Are you not sponsored by Revolut?
Yeah, I need to be. Come on,
Revolut.
We could afford Felix now because I'm sure he always comes up in the, every transfer. Western out saying spot on, Sam. Any player can go just as long as we keep Emery. I mean, that is kind of, I think, what a lot of people are saying. And then this one made me laugh. Gary will end up at Istanbul with a full set of hair. He'll be coming back, mate. You'll be coming back fully.
Turkey teeth, full hairdo, mate. No problem.
Are you going to bring some back for James?
Yeah, I ain't got. I'm not going to have time to fart in Istanbul, mate. I'm landing, watching the game, and going straight home. That's not.
You're literally going to be there like 12 hours, 24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
That's crazy.
Less than that, because you arrive at 11, and you're leaving at 4 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, your flight's at 6, isn't it? Yeah, that's right.
Can I also just touch on something else in the comments? I saw people talking about, you know, the Villa fans who aren't going, and sort of like mine and Gary's attitude towards going. Like, I'll be completely honest. I've never been to, obviously none of us have been to a European Cup final away with Villa, but there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of away games, a lot of European nights away that I haven't been able to go to. And for me, I feel like this is something that Gary and I are both so excited about because we can't believe we're going to be there. But I've watched many a big Aston Villa game, you know, the FA Cup final against Arsenal, the League Cup final against City. I've watched games like that at home on my own, and I know that there can be like a sense of missing out or not feeling like part of that collective and part of it. But the only thing I would say is you absolutely are wherever you are, like whether it's sort of getting involved in an online community, whether it's just interacting with people who are watching it at home as well. Like, we are, as a fan base, we are a community, and like I'm very lucky to be going to the final, and I've had to pull some strings and sell a kidney to get there. But I'm very conscious that I'm very lucky to be there and to be going to the game. So I don't want it to come across as if we're bragging or we're doing X, Y, and Z. Like, anyone, like, doesn't make me a bigger fan to watch it in the stadium than it would make me a fan if I was watching it at home, because that was my plan up until 2 weeks ago, until the ticket became available. So yeah, just for anyone else watching, it's it doesn't matter where you're watching it from.
Yeah, well said, Sam. Well said, mate. I completely agree.
Same for Gary, right? I think actually before it was more likely I was going to be going to Istanbul than he was.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it all changed. I can't go. He's going. It's just, you know.
Right. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. I don't like if these
don't happen to you, mate.
Well, they don't. Look, and people don't know my backstory, right? So it's not about bragging. I just genuinely can't believe I'm going. I've done a couple of videos on it. Like, I can't. It feels like, it still feels like a dream. Like, it doesn't feel real. It won't feel real till I actually land in Istanbul and we're in with the fellow fans. And like, obviously, it's shit. But it's not anyone's fault. If you've got tickets or if you haven't got tickets, look, the fact it's being held in a tiny stadium, the fact that it's kind of, you know, that there's a ballot to get ticket, you know, it should have been in a bigger stadium. It's madness, right? But even then,
you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry because there's going to be more than enough room for us all to go to the Champions League final next season. So just don't worry about it. Anyway, Just wanted to quickly check this out because this is very nice. Going to add you back in there, Sam. The Champions League winning team here in fourth. Hopefully going to stay in fourth unless we do lose to City. Does anyone care about fourth or fifth? I actually kind of want what I was about to say. I'd actually quite like to get. I'd like to see Bournemouth or someone in the Champions League. That'd be pretty interesting. If we finish fifth.
No, right. Okay, let me do my bit of piece on this, and I'm guilty of putting my hand up like I'm in school again. I want to finish fourth for the most horrible, bitter reason ever. I'm going to tell you why. I don't want Bournemouth to be in the Champions League for the pure reason that I feel like it dilutes our achievement of getting into the Champions League. I don't imagine Real Madrid at the Vitality. Do you know what? And it's not because I think, we're miles bigger than Bournemouth, even though we are. Or that Bournemouth with their, 65-seater stadium should not be in the Champions League. I don't want it. I don't want any. It's not just because it's Bournemouth. I wouldn't want Chelsea if Chelsea was sick. I wouldn't want them to be piggybacking
I agree.
into the Champions League. It should be something that is rare. You can't have 6 teams from the Premier League.
6 is silly.
Yeah.
Much for that reason, I want to finish fourth, and I'm hoping Liverpool, after that performance, have imploded, and Jordan Henderson's going to go there and score a hat-trick against them next week in the final game of the season. But I just don't want anyone else to get in the Champions League. The fewer, the better for me.
Well, Liverpool, because Liverpool can still, still fall out of that fifth. Can you imagine? No Chelsea, no Liverpool, no Spurs. None of them.
Bournemouth got City next, haven't they? And they look.
They have. And I mean, City won the FA Cup today, right? And they'll go into that.
But there's still Brighton as well. It's not like it's completely.
Yeah, but Brighton have to win both games.
Can they?
Yeah, they can. They're 6 points off the 2 to play, and there's goal difference.
Well, I mean, Liverpool, are they at home to Brentford next week? Or they?
I have no idea.
They're at home. Yeah, Salah's last game at Anfield.
But I mean, the thing is that it doesn't look like Arne Slot's going anywhere. With the news that Xabi Alonso is going to Chelsea on a 4-year deal. I think watching that Liverpool side yesterday, I think they've thrown in the towel for that manager. None of those players were playing for they were just. It was poor, man. It was poor. So there's a petition that's got over 3 million signatures to get him out of the club. It's just once the fans start turning on you. So there's a fan petition. I was on a podcast with BM Talksball and Jonathan Morley, big Liverpool content creator, and he was just basically saying, I want him out. He's got to go.
You want who out?
Slot.
Slot.
I thought you were talking about Jimenez from Bournemouth. Sorry, carry on. The whole petition was written in crayon for Jimenez.
Oh, God.
Sorry, that's not funny. That's not funny. He's a bad man. I'm really sorry. Carry on.
There goes our sponsorship deal with Crayola. Anyway, no, I was talking about Arne Slot. There's a big petition to get him out, and I just think if Brentford go to Anfield with Slot, I thought for sure he'd be in trouble today, and I thought Alonso would be being named as Liverpool manager. But so that Chelsea announcement's really shocked me. So it looks like they're probably going to persevere with Slot. Unless they've got someone else lined up, I don't know. But if he's taking charge of the last game of the season, I think Liverpool are in trouble. They're not a team at the moment, and I think Brentford, with the way they're playing, going in for a European place, will go to Anfield and get a result. So
I completely agree. I think Brentford, and obviously we're decent friends with Brentford fans, Simon from Beyond the Wall, and that club's so well run, and they're just at the moment they are absolutely flying, and Liverpool are in a bit of a rut.
Keith Andrews got a nomination for manager of the season.
Mate, that is a lovely segue to this crock of shit. Now, I mean, obviously, the thing is with Emery, right? Like, obviously, if he hadn't have gone there's recency bias, right, with this, where we haven't been at it for the past, a couple of months, right? But to have Carrick in there, who has managed, 18 games? And not have Unai Emery.
with no European.
I feel like can't you do this? Can't you do this close to the end of the season? There's two. Like we've literally just qualified for Champions League. We might win the Europa League, and you're saying that we won't be in the manager of the season talk.
Mate, I understand all of these nominations apart from Carrick, right? Labrie or whatever he pronounces his name, Sunderland, obviously devastating, looks magnificent, right? Areola, brink of Champions League football with the size of Bournemouth, brilliant. Guardiola, obviously, 2 trophies again. He could still potentially pip Arteta to the league. Yes. Keith Andrews, I thought Brentford were in change this season, they're getting relegated, and he's done absolute marvels. They're pushing for European places, and obviously, if Mikel Arteta could win the Champions League and the league, so I get it. But Carrick, right? Yes, he's changed it around, but with no European football to have to complete with, just playing 1 game a week, right? So fresh for every game, having Casemiro, who's one of the best players in midfield.
£500 million team.
£500 million team. You've got a £70 million striker in Tesco going, isn't he working wonders? Mate, we've spent £28 million this season. 28 million, and we've qualified for the Champions League and in the European final.
I'd have Farker in there over Carrick, if I'm honest. Like I was quite surprised I didn't even see him in the list. But yeah, we know what it is. It's just
mate, it just shows they do not want us anywhere near the top 6.
It's a close club, and Unai Emery unfortunately is a bit marmite with a lot of these people as well. Anyway, I was just going to get back to the game. I don't know what your angle was, Gary, for the McGinn goal, but what a lovely goal! Standing finish, literally stood there. Went, yeah, screw it. I'm going to get this.
Mate, you both know where we sit. Sam, you came to what game did you come to with us? I can't remember what it was. Bologna, that was it. Yeah, right. So I had a brilliant view of that. I was right behind him, and as soon as he left his foot, I jumped up in the air. Right, it was an unbelievable finish, and so deserved of a man that, for me, epitomises everything that should be in a professional footballer. Just heart, desire, and mate. Some of the flicks he was doing yesterday and his quick feet, he's such an underrated footballer. Like, he doesn't get the credit where he's due. I know he gets the credit for being that workhorse and that guy who drives us forward. But this season, he's been nothing short of exceptional. He's my player of the season, so that tops off a perfect performance for me. I thought he was one of the best. He was almost up there with his volley against Sheffield Wednesday. That's how good it was. Because but obviously the volley's probably slightly better. But yeah, he was brilliant, and he's brilliant. And I think he said, in his own words, when they were doing the lap of honour after the game, he had the microphone and he said, "Look, we know we've been inconsistent this season, right? But we've qualified for the Champions League, and we'll see you in Istanbul," sort of thing. So they're aware of it, and now I'm starting to feel like they're all watching all of our podcasts, mate. I called Morgan Rogers lazy. He goes and sticks one in the top corner. Sam's been on at Watkins all season, like I have. It turns into fucking prime Ronaldo for the last 9 games of the season, where everything turns to gold. Mate, I'm all for it. We just need to start calling everyone shit, and maybe they'll all start fucking turning up and putting in shifts.
Yeah. Sam, what are your thoughts to John McGinn? Obviously, is he 31 this year, or is he already 31? He just turned 31, I think.
He's already 31.
Yeah. So, we've got, I want to say probably, personally, I think we've probably got 1 more season in him. I just think he, not because I don't think he's got the quality. I just think with the way he plays and the legs, I don't know how much he'll have the legs after another season. But what are your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, he's quite good. John McGinn's a fascinating person, isn't he? He's an enigma. He's quite like this. He's quite like this Aston Villa squad. Like, you never really know who's turning up and how we're going to play. And John McGinn, I'll be honest with you, like, James, when we first met, we were both asked a question. This was at the start of the Champions League season? No, midway through the Champions League season. And the question that was posed to us was, would you move John McGinn on this summer? And we both said, he can stay, he can go, but he shouldn't be in the first team. He shouldn't really be around the first team, because we've evolved. We've moved on to a higher level. We're Champions League. Like, excuse me, do you know who we are?
I think what I actually said was, I think the question was wrong, because I don't think we have a first 11. We have a starting and an ending 11. at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were both along the same page that like he was interchangeable. He wasn't like
but I think the whole squad is other players.
But this is the thing. Like, I keep expecting John McGinn to become less and less relevant, and for us to outgrow and evolve. But the thing that's fascinating about John McGinn is that no matter what level we've gone to, and remember, he's been with us since the championship, since we were shit in the championship as well. Not even he didn't join in that season where we got promoted. He was there the season before. No matter what level we've got to, he rises to match that level, and he's an enigma. He's incredible, and I think that goal against PSG last year, some of the performances that he's put in this season, like at the start of this season when we were playing so poorly, it was kind of John McGinn who kind of got us up and running, and I don't think I can overstate how important he is to the club. Now, I'm not going to talk about him as a player because he can be a fantastic player, and there are days when he's very quiet. But for the most part, his performances have been at least a 7 out of 10 all season. I can't envision an Aston Villa Football Club without John McGinn, and in whatever capacity, I just want him to stay. I just need him to stay. He's not like, we're not going to get a massive transfer fee for him regardless. I don't think he's on like ridiculous money. I know he's a club captain and he'll be on a few quid, but he's not going to be on ridiculous money. He's just our captain, and he's just the soul of this football club. And I don't want to, and I'm not ready to move on from that. So John McGinn, amazing yesterday. He scored some amazing goals. He's given us some amazing times over the last 3 years, and I just love him. I just love him. And you know, whatever happens to him in his footballing ability, then you know, I want him around the football club, and he is already for me cemented as one of the greatest Villa legend of my era, my generation.
I think it's not just him on the pitch; it's the off the pitch stuff. He's just, you see his interviews, the way he talks. It's just funny as well. Some of the funniest things I've seen, like behind the scenes Villa stuff, he just cracks me up. I remember the time when he wasn't on the ticket off his phones, and he was like,
"Yeah."
So who? No, it's John McGinn. Hey, what? It's just like, what? It's just absolutely brilliant. And what was that one he did at Christmas? It was the Christmas
turkey.
Yeah, it was like, it was Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and he was like, but he misheard them, and he's like, who? Oh, you filthy animal. Oh yeah, shit. So good.
But that's why I describe him as the soul of the football club.
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like. He feels like the soul. He feels like the energy, and the you know, and everyone else. Like whenever anyone talks about John McGinn, like they get asked in like press conferences and in interviews about John McGinn, what's it like having John McGinn? As soon as they hear the name John McGinn, they just start laughing. They smile and they laugh, and I just feel like I don't know. He's just brilliant, and I want him to. I think Flanger said in the comments that she would eat her own arm to see McGinn and Emery lift that trophy, and I completely agree, regardless of how ridiculous the username is. I do completely agree with that.
Oh, brilliant!
No, I know Anne from the Villa Park. She's lovely. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love about McGinn most of all? I agree with both of what you just said, right? But I think it's those levels, right? Because I truly believe that at this Premier League level, any player has the ability to go to the next level, right? But it's how much you want it and how much you work at it. And so, yeah, like at the start of, I had the same questions to me asked about John McGinn, and I remember it was for the Finalysis audition. And I stood on my own saying he should start, while everyone else was going, no, he's, you know, maybe a squad player at best. But I've always seen something in McGinn, and I thought, I know this guy's going to work his nuts off to get to the level he needs to be at, and he's proven it time and time again. And that, for me, that's why when I've criticised other players, when you look at McGinn and you see how he's gone up the levels from Championship to Champions League, right? Certain players just step up, they do the work, the required work, and they show it when it matters most. And he's carried too many players. And as much as I love Watkins, you know, that middle part of this season was awful. He was awful. And I'm like, what is he working at in training? Why isn't he like trying to rectify it? He looked like he was on another planet. And that's it's because I'm comparing to what I'm looking at when I see John McGinn put on a Villa shirt. That's how I'm looking. That's how it's comparable to everybody. If he can do it, this little meatball from Scotland who cost 2.5 million quid, right? Why can't the rest of you do it? Like, and when they do it, we get performances like Forest and Liverpool, and we look like an absolute quality side. So yeah, he's the engine behind that, and I think if we can keep him, in whatever capacity he is, whether he stays one more season, whether he ends up with a coaching role or whatever he decides to do, we need him in and around the club because he's going to know. Like if we win that trophy, he's got the credentials to back it up, and not just because he's a brilliant player, but because of that work rate. And any budding young Villa player that's coming through, they need to look at that example and go, "Yeah, I want to be like John McGinn."
Yeah, I mean, this comment here: will McGinn go to Celtic for his final swan song season? I think that's what a lot of people have predicted. I think I thought that years ago. We all thought he'd go.
Why to go and win the league for? Let VAR win the league for you?
Because he's always. Mate, did you see that today? Oh my god, what a game! But no, I think he's always said he wants to go. That's like his dream to play for Celtic, kind of thing. And he's
lying. That's not his dream.
I think
he could have joined Celtic when he joined Villa, and he chose Villa.
Yeah,
I think he's contracted with us till summer of 2028. That's when his contract runs out. I think it's around 130k a week, something like that at the moment. But I won't be surprised if it gets a raise in the summer. Shall
I alienate myself from the viewer base one more time?
Yeah, please do.
Outside, so the argument that we always make is that John McGinn is the best pound for pound signing, right? The best pound for pound signing that anyone can argue, right? And I will say that he, outside of free transfers, he is the second best pound for pound signing. Can you guess who I think is first? Not for Aston Villa, but I'm talking about in Premier League football in general.
Oh, in Premier League football in general?
Pound
for pound signing.
Currently playing?
No, not
Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
£1 million from Fleetwood, and he won in the league.
Yeah, mate. And look, Jamie Vardy obviously ended up being very prolific, and that was why, because that guy ran his nuts off every game.
Yeah.
I remember watching him in that league winning season. He chased every ball down. There wasn't a ball he didn't chase down. Like every defender was put under pressure, and he did it. It was, it's impressive. You know, I'm not sure of what he's like off the pitch, but on the pitch he was absolutely phenomenal.
Well, off the pitch, he was an absolute nutter, and he had a diet exclusively of sausage rolls and Skittle vodka. Like he was.
You like the pretty colours, mate. You like the pretty colours. Look at the
pretty colours. I mean, actual pound for pound signing is Boubacar Kamara, like hands down, because he was free.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But here's another question as well. Well, maybe not one for today, but a different one is what do you do with Boubacar Kamara? Because he is, when he plays, our win percentage is around 70%, and you win the league with those numbers. But you know, that he's going to be out for half of the season every season, and we've seen what happens at Aston Villa when Kamara is not fit. We capitulate. So do you just say, you know what, enough's enough of Kamara? As good as he is when he's fit, he's not fit enough. Availability is the best availability, because we brought in Onana for that exact reason, but he's always fucking injured.
He can't stay fit either.
So what do you do with Kamara? This is a genuine conundrum, because he's perfect. He's a perfect footballer, but he can't stay fit for a whole season.
Maybe with the Champions League money, we look at buying some bionic knees for the pair of them. Do you know what I mean? Where they like some absolute reconstruction of ACLs that are made of titanium that can't fucking break.
Kamara do an ACL in his elbow, and he wouldn't play for it. Like he'd get a 6-month-long cold, Gary. I'm telling you, this boy does not play a full season of football. It doesn't work.
It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, he's contracted till 2030, and also I don't see anyone like paying too much for him because of these injury issues.
Do you reckon? Well, I reckon he goes for 70 million. You know, Kamara.
I don't think anyone pays that.
I think he goes for stupid money, because anyone who knows football, like we feel like we are, and actually amongst fans, Boubacar Kamara is a pretty well kept secret. Like no one really rates him that highly. But when you're talking about football clubs who will be looking for a CDM, they'll know that Kamara is the best thing since sliced bread. They'll know he's the absolute shit. So, like,
are you going to pay that for a player that's pretty much going to probably play 20?
Oh, James, you know what's going to happen. He's going to leave, and he's going to play every game for the rest of his fucking career.
Yeah, of course he is. That's what happens to him.
He'll get into the French squad, win the World Cup in 2030, and we'll all go, "Oh, fuck's sake, nobody paid for us."
But that's why he doesn't play for France, because he's not injured, because he's always injured. But by the way, my answer to that question is you absolutely keep him. You absolutely, because you just can't give up a player of that quality. But it's a conundrum, right? It's a really good question, like because you see the fall off from our season this season, from that Spurs game, from when he got injured. Oh my God, it was downhill from there for months and months. And I know it coincided with the Tielemans injury and a John McGinn injury, but even when they returned, we weren't the same as we were before.
It did it the same as last season as well. And it was the same. Whenever he goes out, we have this dip, but that's what's actually like. Obviously, the squad as a whole is incredible what we've managed to do this season. But then the fact that we lost Kamara and we've still managed to get over the line, kick on. We're in the Europa League final. We've made the chat. My God, can you imagine where we'd be if he would stay bloody fit?
Yeah.
Like, would he be at Villa if he could stay fit?
Yeah, probably. Because we're massive. We're Champions League. We're Europa League final. We are. Do I need to remind you who the fuck we are, James?
Villa boys are taking over. Yes.
Gary, I want to ask her, did they do anything special at the ground? Because obviously we had those bin bags on sticks for the Forest game.
They were the worst flags I've ever seen.
I've never seen anything like it.
They literally had sellotape around the flagpoles to keep literally bin bags cut up.
We've got some rubble bags out here. They're blue. And they've just cut off one end and just stuck them on.
Yeah, mate, the workmen have turned up to take the door stand down today and gone, who's nicked all our fucking bags?
Yeah, no, did they do anything?
No. They had a tifo for what was it, Benjamin Zebediah, the poet who died. That was quite nice.
Do you know what they did special, James? They got us into the Champions League. We beat Liverpool 4-2.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they did. Did they do anything special? Were you not watching the fucking game? What do you mean? No. What do you want? James wants a bin bag on a stick. He doesn't care about the 4-2 bin bag.
No, honestly, that bin bag on a stick just scarred me. I was like, what is this? Because all the stuff we had in the Champions League was lovely, like scarves, all these lovely flags. Europa League semi-final, fucking bin bag on a stick. It was awful.
Although, do you remember what we got to Celtic?
No.
Was it?
Okay. Let me show you.
I've probably got it.
I've got it somewhere.
I've probably still got it.
This is what we got to Celtic.
Yes, I've got that. Yeah.
Like every other one, this is a Champions League one that we got against. Who was this? I can't remember who this one was against, but maybe Bayern or someone.
That might have been Bayern, yeah.
That one against PSG, the one in the background, the white one. We got
with all the team on.
Yeah, which was probably one of our best performances of the
League One, mate. At best, that's why League One.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Boys, I've got a question, right, that I want to put to you because yesterday at the game, right, James, you know where I sit, right, and I had a bit of a coming together with another fan, right, who give me a load of shit, basically, right. Now, some guys that sit behind us, now, you know, when the ball goes down the far end, right, people stand up. So you stand up to see, right? And obviously, as Rogers gets the ball, I've stood up, right? And
Pete told me to ask you about this, by the way.
Right. And then this guy comes over and he went, do you mind sitting down? And I went, what do you mean? He said, I haven't said anything all season, but you've been doing it all season. You stand up whenever the ball goes down there. I said, yeah, because everybody else does. And he went, no, you're the only one. He's 30 yards from goal and I missed the goal. I said, mate, I suggest you stand up a little bit quicker then. And he was like, no, I can't. And I said, mate, I'm not being funny, but like, no. I pay my money. I'm going to, when the action's down there at that end, I'm going to, other people stand up. And he was like, no, it's only you. I was like, what are you talking about?
If you stand up, I definitely stand up. All of us stand up.
Well, but then, Mike, next passage of play, I just told him to fuck off, basically. Right? Like, leave me alone, right? And then the guy he sat next to, the next time the ball went up that end, like, everybody stood up. And I went, are you going to tell all these people to sit down now as well, right? What the fuck are you on about, you bellend? Like, I said, maybe you should just think about moving your ticket, like, because it's not as if I do it all game. It's not as if I'm stood there on my feet for the whole game watching it. Do you know what I mean? So we can't see. Like, it really bothered me. Anyway, like the people around me all kind of like, what's this guy's problem? Like, I was like, mate, I don't know. And then at half time, he was like, oh, can we have a chat about it? I didn't want to get asked you, but you got aggro with me. I said, mate, you approached me. Like, people stand up at football games. Look, there's people standing up all over the place now, and nobody's complaining about it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't get up as quick as you. I said, no, I appreciate that. Maybe not, but like, maybe you should go a little bit higher up where they're not going to stand up or sit in the halfway. I don't know, mate. But
yes, I mean, he said you're the only one who stood up. I'm like, no, it's probably you're the only one who's bothered because he's in your eye line. Like
Yeah.
it's simple as that. Like, is it?
Yeah.
If he was stood over there, I don't think he'd give a shit if he was standing up. But
so I just thought, what's his expectation? I just sit down, I'm strapped to my chair to make sure he can see behind me. Like everybody stands up, right?
Do you boys remember what I said when I sat with you guys for Bologna, wasn't I? And I sat with you. Do you remember what I said during the game? I said it's a really good view here, but obviously my season ticket is in the lower hole, is in the whole end. And I said to you guys, I like the view here, but I cannot sit down all game. Like I've really struggled. I have to just stand up and watch the game.
Yeah.
And you know, it's actually, I don't know if anyone's ever gone to Wembley to watch a game. When you go to Wembley, it's not just the fans, it's the stewards. The stewards are, as soon as you even if your team scores, they're like, sit down. I'm like, shut up, mate. And I do get it, you know. By the way, Gaz, aren't you sat behind like a wheelchair section? I'm just checking because that's a bit harsh. If you say, why don't you just stand up a bit quicker and he's in a wheelchair? That's not very nice.
Mate, I've got a disabled daughter, mate. I'm key for inclusion and stuff. I'm not that bad.
No, honestly. I know. I'm joking. I'm winding you up, but it is like I do get the dichotomy because there are some people, especially like older fans as well, that don't really want to stand up. They just want to sit down and watch the match. And that's why, for me, I feel like that's why there are different sections in the ground where you expect more of that. Like, I think what you do is actually appropriate for your section. You're not up 90 minutes because that's what you'd expect in the whole, but you're standing up at the big moments and you want to see the goal as well. Like, you know, so I if I'm being honest, I think it's a non-issue. He's probably just had a bad day. But
I definitely stand up more often. I stand up and kick off against the ref, the lino. I'm kicking off against everyone.
If it was me, Gary, I wouldn't have sat down for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I would have stood up. I would have stood up at halftime, mate. At halftime, I'm there.
I would have stood up, turned around. I wouldn't have even watched the game. I would have just stood there staring at the bloke.
Do you know?
I think that atmosphere and that, I think it's really key, and I think it was really important over the last few days, like especially against Forest and yesterday against Liverpool. The atmosphere, you know, seemed absolutely electric, and I feel like that standing up and the gasp before the shots and all of that, I just feel like it eggs on the players. I feel it's so important. I think it's so important that the atmosphere is as good as possible, and if people just want to sit down and watch the game in silence, watch it at home. Watch it at home, honestly,
I agree.
because that. I think we've proven beyond doubt what an influence a lively Villa Park can make to this team and make to our fortune. So I would have said to him, mate, actually, genuinely, if you just want to sit down and watch a game, watch it at home.
Yeah. Well, actually, when we were leaving, like he didn't even stay for to cheer them on after the game had finished. They left straight away, right? Obviously,
you probably couldn't see them because you stood up.
Yeah, but the guy who sits next to him walked past me and went, "Ignore him. He's a CUNT," right? And I was like, fair enough. Okay, there you go. I'll take that.
Well, you have to spell that out this time, guys. You've definitely said that word on this to go.
I know, but I'm
pretty sure everyone watching knows the spelling of that one.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and not use that word because it upsets you, James. I know it does, right? I don't care. It's 4 letters, mate, combined to make a word. It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like if you're offended by that, you need to jog on. But it was
It's not good. It's not good for the brand deals.
It's not good for the brand deals for sure.
You cannot say cunt on a podcast. That would be awful. Right? You'd be monetized immediately.
We've said it too many times, if I'm honest. We've said it too many times.
But look, it comes down to being a passionate fan, which is what I think I am, right? And I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I don't think I overstand up where we sit. I think it is appropriate. He just did my head in. At the end of the day, that's what I was celebrating. Do you know what I mean? We're going to the fucking Champions League, baby. Jog on. I wore the wrong shirt.
I'm just gonna say though, I don't know. I'm not sure about the quality of some of these print, this sticking on.
Yeah, but you ordered yours from Temu, mate, so that's understandable, right?
Temu, it's the official shirt.
You've also not taken it off since that PSG game. Yeah. I've never seen you not in that shirt.
Mate, mine's perfectly fine.
It's nice fitting. It feels good. It's aeration. It's nice.
You look handsome, James. You look handsome. Don't you worry, mate. You carry on.
Yeah, I think the colour really
Also, mate, if you've washed it over 30 degrees, they're going to peel. These shirts have to be washed at cold temperatures, man. Otherwise, they fucking disintegrate.
Welcome back to a household chores weekly.
Every week we follow Gary doing the washing.
Every week we wash clothes on 30 degrees.
Anyway, I think we're gonna have to call it there. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us. This has been an absolute joy as always. Gary, do you want to sing us out? But actually, I probably should say we've got some more content coming up, haven't we? So Monday we're going to have the weekly thoughts. We'll then have the preview. It depends on Gary's logistics. Probably on the Tuesday because they will be probably frantically working out what he's got to do to get to Istanbul.
No, mate, I'm good. After Monday, I've just got to get the whole family ready to go to Devon on Monday because they're going on Monday, and I'm left with Ava. So, in the day, I will be free to do some content.
Great. So Tuesday we'll be doing the preview for that as well, and then obviously I'm doing a watch along. I don't know where to do it here. I'm maybe going to do it Rich, but we're trying to work out how I can get it on both channels at the same time. So if anyone knows how we can do that, let us know in the comments. If you are new here, I mean, we've done this in an hour. So if you are new here and you are still here, what the fuck are you doing not subscribing to that's crazy. So subscribe, like, all the hypes and all that malarkey. We will be back. Gary, give us your final thoughts and sing us out, mate.
Mate, it's coming home. We're going to Istanbul, Sam, and that fucking trophy's coming back to Villa Park. I can feel it in my bones. I'll see you on the next one, boys and girls. As we say, every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace. Practicing for Wednesday. Come on.